Alright, we're going to talk about how to do phone calls and texts. I am so bad at these intros. Okay, so assuming we're at the home page again, remember home is up here or here. We scroll all the way down until we're at digital communications, and we want to open phone calls and texts. And just like in social media, we have codes and we have an example. So I will show you what the codes look like first. They're fairly simple. Here's text messaging. And here's what a phone call looks like. And you would insert the conversation here. So I will demo both for you. So we already have an example of a phone call, so we're going to open that. So my character Maria is calling Aveline. I used italic text and Courier font to make the ring. You can modify the text in here as you please. And Morg uses italics to indicate action. And as you can see, it pops a bit more so you can indicate action versus talking. Up here is who you're contacting. So Ava is contacting Mary. And Mary is contacting Ava. You would put their contact name in that way and everything. This can scroll up and down. So if you want to have a prolonged conversation, you absolutely can. It does not have to fit in this box. And you can put in as many italic codes as you want. Now we're going to show you how to do it yourself, and we're going to start by doing a text. So, if you hear a chicken in the background, I deeply apologize. My neighbors have chickens for some godforsaken reason. I don't know why. They have very large dogs, but this is a thing. Anyways, new topic. And the rooster is screaming. Let's see. So we'll pick Rory, so I'm going to say Rory's texts. Now here's the thing that we want you guys to know. You have a few options. The first is you can have a thread for each specific conversation. For example, Maria's phone to Ava. So that would mean every conversation between these two characters I would put in here. And if Morg wanted to start a conversation between Ava and Mary, he could put it in here. So there is one designated thread for just those two. Or you can do one designated thread for one character. So for example, Rory's communications. Every conversation he has is now in here. Doesn't matter if he's talking to Aurora. Doesn't matter if he's talking to his friend Daisy. Doesn't matter if he's talking to any character. Everything gets put into one thread. And I can say versus this very specific with Ava. And it's entirely up to you. If you want to have, one specific thread for every conversation, that's fine. We understand that some of your characters are going to be really chatty with each other and have really long threads. And some of your characters are just not going to use phone calls and text that much, and one thread for everything would suffice. If you have two characters that call and text all the time, and you want them to have a designated thread, so that way it doesn't get drowned out in all the characters' other conversations, we encourage that. We have plenty of room. And we will show you how to link these things too as well, but that'll be in another tutorial. But you have buttons down here that allow you to link your calls and texts and social media. You also have thread trackers. So there are many ways to keep track, so it's really up to personal preference, but we will get to that. Don't let me derail this. Even though I already did, talking about chickens. Okay. So, as always, you start off with needing a picture. I don't know if he has any gifts, but we're gonna try. He does not have any good ones, I forgot. Okay. So, just so you can see where it is this square right here. Remember, if you don't resize the image, it'll just pick the center of the image. So if I choose this, it'll show this part of his body in that little square. Find something like this, or like this, where the face is a bit more centered. Something like this will probably cut off right here. Something like that will cut off right there, etc., etc., etc. Just be mindful of what you want in the image. And if you have something like this, remember it goes to the sides, so it won't squeeze in. So, let me show you. Did you not? Nope. Okay, that image is not loading for me. That's rude. I hate when Google does that. My connection is a little bit slow for someone who lives in a really connected area. See, it cut off the tip of his head because it went in the center. But I like it, so we're gonna roll with it. Anyways. Now you have two options. You can use the person that is texting or the person you're sending it to. As you saw with the phone calls, we did the person we were sending it to, so Mary is calling Ava, and she's connected to Ava. So I could say he's texting, or, let's see, I forgot the face claim name, so we have to go and look at someone's notebook, forgive me. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Zeph, for having such easy to read notebooks. Will you close? Thank you. That was rude. I have too many tabs. Can do it like this. No, I prefer this method to say who I'm texting, because it helps me, but it's entirely up to you. Name here. And you can leave the new message thing intact. So, Daisy Friel, new message. And you can have as many texts as you want. You could go down quite a bit, so if you want to spam someone, you can. You can add them, as it said, by using these little P codes. So, copy. As you can see, you can scroll down. And that's pretty much all you have to do. And the person replying would use this template and fill in their own stuff. Now let's set it to Rory. post. And now you can see Rory is texting Daisy. Now let's have him text Aurora as well, so I can show you. I can use my mouse, I swear. I can't, this is my gaming mouse and it's a little twitchier. I have two mice, totally. It's not weird at all. Alright. Once again, we'll copy the code, paste it in, copy a picture, paste it in, and I know it's styled like you're receiving them. I don't know why the template did it that way, but that's how the template did it, so that's how we're doing it. It would be extraneous coding for me to try to do it another way, unfortunately, so we're just sticking with this way. And say I don't want 3 messages, I just want 2. There you go. Oops, I did it again, see? I'm gonna do it a lot too. We're all gonna have a learning curve. And Rory has texted Aurora. Yes, we are aware of the funniness of the names. And now, both Zeph and Morg could reply to me. They would just use the same template and send a message back. So this is what it would look like if you just had one thread for everything. Now let's add a phone call so you can see what these look like. And now here is the blank template. Not something you need. That is a ridiculous amount of code I'm fucking with. I have had to learn so much overnight. I'm babbling. Alright. And like before, you want an image. And like I said, I prefer to do it the person you're talking to. So, name here. I'm going to preview every time to show you what this looks like. Aurora. And you insert the call here. So, to show you what I did before, italics first, then courier. Ta-da! Now, here's what it looks like if you don't do line breaks. And I'm going to explain those to you. See, notice how I put an enter here, but it didn't up here? That's because in this code, you need what's called a line break. And it's pretty simple. BR. Here's what one line break looks like. It looks like one enter. Here's what a second one looks like. It's an easy code to input. You don't even have to do a backward slash. It's just little arrows on each side. And it can add as much space as you need. And we will select Rory and we will add a reply. So now every conversation Rory's having, he has here. So that's what a single thread looks like single character thread. Actually, that's going to be a confusing term. This is what a thread looks like if all your communications for one character is in one thread. And this is what it looks like if one conversation is in one thread. And this is what it looked like. Description is down here. So all of Rory's versus calls and texts for Aveline. And that is how you do phone calls.